Good morning. Welcome to Common Sense Courier. Wanted to just attempt to answer one of the tough questions people have. And that question is, why does God allow suffering? If there's a God, why does he allow suffering? Well, number one, there is. And we'll get into that later, but that's a hard question. It's a very, very hard question to answer because suffering is everywhere that we look. It's in the news headlines. Obviously, it's just all over the place. Now, I kind of came to this thought this morning that may help understand why God allows suffering. And I just want you to kind of go with me on this and just try to see this point of view. So just imagine that you're driving your car, much like I am right now, and you drive past this home that maybe it's got a lot of stuff in the yard. Maybe the home's rough. Maybe it's looking tough. Maybe there's a cage, and maybe there's a dog in the cage. Some of you may have even seen that before. And the dog seems to be fine, barking. It's a small cage though, and its grass is all worn down. It's worn down to the dirt because the dog is just doing circles all day long. Now, to me, that would hurt a little bit to see that. I would feel for the dog. I would want better for the dog. I would want the dog to be trained real well and just sitting on the front porch, just tongue out, looking at cars as they go by. Kind of having his own freedom to do his thing, but he doesn't. The dog is inside a cage. Now, is that wrong or is it right? To me, my definition of that is yeah, I don't want to see that. But to the owner, maybe that's okay. So the definition of suffering in that case is kind of arbitrary. What I think of suffering or injustice, someone else may not. So here's kind of the deal there. God has created, in the Ten Commandments, he created a set of rules to go by that kind of give us definition on what is good and what is bad. Now, depending on whether you believe in God or not, you'll believe the Ten Commandments or not. Most of us can look at those 10 commandments and say, yeah, you know what, that's right. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Lie. Those seem to be pretty straightforward, but God drew that line for us in an effort for us to have the free will, like the owner of that dog, to exercise what we think is best. Now, if God were to come down and force us to do the right thing all the time, that would not be a loving God. That would be a dictator. Just like if I were to stop, pull in that driveway of that house I just talked about, get out, knock on the door, and demand, and then force the owner to let that dog out, just to satisfy my thought of what is right. That would be wrong. I don't have that's not what I can do. I cannot force someone to do what I think is right. So I hope that gives you an idea. God, because he loves us so much, has given us the freedom to do as we please, but he did give us a guideline to follow. Sadly, we don't follow that. And God, because he loves us, will not come down and force us to do what he wants. He's going to leave it up to us to ultimately make that decision. But here's the beauty: if we decide wrong, Jesus came to offer payment for that wrong decision willingly. We'll talk more about that too. I hope that gives you an idea on why God allows suffering and makes sense out of it. Have a great day. Remember, you are here for a reason. Have a great day. Bye.